For those of you that don't know Jay already, Jay has been an industry leader since, well, practically since he was in diapers. I'm telling you, this guy's been the second he got a real estate license, he started changing the industry. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. I mean, Jay's been around a minute and has done more in his real estate career than probably anybody you'll ever meet. And so Jay, it's always an honor to chat with you. And I appreciate you taking the time with me today. Just for clarification, you are a real estate agent right now with EXP, but you're entirely focused on helping agents in your downline, if I'm correct. Is that right?
Yeah. I love the industry. I'm not interested in going back out on appointments. I've got enough of that under my belt. So yeah, my passion is helping people break through where they get stuck and building something big. So it's always fun. Being around real estate and what's going on. I love change. Like when there's change in the marketplace and there's fear in the marketplace, it creates opportunity. So for me, that's when you get creative and start, figuring out what the moves are on the table to really grow your business.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. I love that you said, fear in the marketplace. I always tell people, where there's chaos, there's opportunity. And right now there's a lot of chaos in the marketplace.
Yep.
And it's interesting. You look at the agent count. Agent count hasn't come down as far as I think a lot of us thought it would. But what's happened is we've had a lot more experienced agents get out of the industry. We've had some new agents come in that have kind of backfilled a lot of those numbers. But the reality is, what were the numbers last year? I want to say that something like 72% of all agents last year didn't even sell a single house, and God, it was some crazy low number of people that sold more than 45 houses. I want to say it was like 0.14% of the agents sold more than 45 houses last year. I mean, the reality is there are very few very experienced, very good agents in the marketplace right now, and I think this is a great opportunity for them. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably always been, we've always kind of said it's kind of the 95-5 rule, in terms of real estate. 5% of the agents are doing, 95% of the business. That's probably a little much, but yeah, there's, every year I've ever pulled the information or looked at the data, even in DFW, which is where I'm at right now, 50,000. I think it was out of 30,000 or 31,000 agents last I looked, it was 55% of them didn't sell a home. So yeah. Those aren't all full-time agents. That's largely probably people that aren't really, they're doing this as a hobby or, just a pastime or whatever. And so it's certainly way harder to do that. And if you're not making it your profession. I've always been an advocate of the agent that looks at this like a business and a profession and is a true professional. And so, there's not that many of those out there. And so that's a much smaller market that we're talking to here. But yeah, it's interesting. It's always going to be the case. I think, weeding out the weak is something this industry is needed. The lack of professionalism, NARA's, primarily, if you can fog a mirror, you can get a license. And, they're not going to change that because that's how they lobby for things to get done. They need numbers. So there's not this bar that's set to, in a level of professionalism that's being, put in there for you to be a real estate agent. So being a realtor is not necessarily a good thing, but being a professional is a whole nother level of professionalism exists with very few of the agents in the marketplace. And those are the people I like working with.
I agree with you. And, I think the opportunity for them right now is better than it ever has been. I look at Austin, my son, he's been selling real estate now. He's in his third year, 150 nice. Listings last year. As far as I know. Yeah, right. That's not counting his team. That's just him. As far as I know, I think he's the number one listing agent in the country right now. And, I look at him and I think, would that have been possible? Don't get me wrong. I don't want to shortchange him for his hard work or anything like that. But would that have been possible 4 years ago? Right. Or there's so many other agents that were actually active in the business 4 years ago that it would have been much more difficult to hit those kind of numbers in a single year.
Well, let's unpack this a bit, because I think everybody listening would probably like to know what exactly he did, because, one argument is, it was harder 4 years ago and now it's easier. And then I think another argument would be, well, it's harder right now than it's ever been. And so maybe, so what is he doing that's different? Because nobody's selling, everybody's sitting on their, but here he is taking all these listings. So, I would love to know what has his focus been? How is he able to pick up this many listings and get in front of this many people?
Well, I think the answer won't surprise you, Jay. The answer is simply he's more disciplined than most agents are, and he shows up every day at the office. He's 6:30. He's in the office every day. At 7:30, he does his daily huddle with his team from 8 o'clock till noon. He prospects. He calls FSBOs, expireds, cold call. Well, actually, he doesn't even do cold calls, but he does FSBOs, expireds, follow up calls, and then he goes on appointments. And he sets anywhere from 2 to 4 appointments a day, 5 days a week. And he just crushes it on appointments. And that's it. That's all he does.
Yeah, that's a pretty efficient model. And I always say, you show me your calendar and I'll tell you your future, right? And that is why it's not the only way to do it, but it is with sheer effort, it's the best way to do it, in my opinion. It's how I did it. Yeah. And
I was just going to ask you. I was going to say, isn't that how you built your business?
100%. Right. It is. I think now with marketing, but you have to have a budget. If you can start to, and the listing side's way harder, but you and I both know we've done billboards, we've done TV, we've done radio, we've done large scale marketing where you build a brand, and all marketing is where people get mixed up is it's about reach and frequency. How many people see the message and how frequently they see it. And where they get things wrong in marketing, if you're trying to get listings, is the frequency. You have to hit people more times in more different ways in order to get an inbound call for someone that's going to say, I want to list a house. And so whether you're using, it doesn't matter the medium, social media, direct mail, in any number of different mediums you can use. But it's still about the number of people and the number of times those people see the message before they think of you first when it's time to sell. And that takes time. And it's not where I would take an agent and say, here, start here. I would say, let's learn the skills. Let's get beat up with FSBOs and expires and make those calls, because those costs per lead are free. Right. And so, that's why I love real estate. I mean, you literally can come in, as a young person, not having, I didn't have a college education. I didn't even graduate college. I came in and did the hustle work that other people weren't willing to do because I didn't have any money, and I didn't have a sphere of influence, so like it was okay, well, what can you do? Well, I can do that. So I guess I have to do that.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.